Hello, folks. Welcome to my weekly focus for this coming week, where I will analyze the dollar index, that is the DXY, and use my analysis to predict the direction of the dollar for the week, and also the direction of the dollar associated pairs. But before I go into the chart for my analysis and for my forecast, I like to look at the Forex factory to see if there are days that there are high impact news that you might want to stay away from. High impact news like the NFP, the CPI, and the FOMC for those that trade the USD correlated pairs. So on Monday, we can see that there is no news coming up. Then on Tuesday, there is no news on USD, only high impact news on JPY. Then on Wednesday, we can see that JPY is on bank holiday. There is low impact news on NSD, that's the New Zealand dollar, high impact news on AUD. And for my interest on USD, there is FOMC news, which is a high impact news. So you might want to stay away from the charts during the time of the FOMC news. Then on Thursday, there are also high impact news on the GBP and the Euro. So you can just go through the charts to see the days of those high impact news and know when to stay away from the chart. Then on Friday, there is banking holiday. That is the workers' day for different pairs. So with this now, I can easily go to my charts and make my analysis or my forecast from the DXY. So if you move to the DXY, we'll be able to analyze and forecast the direction of the dollar for this week. And with that analysis, we can comfortably analyze other dollar-related pairs. For those that trade dollar-related pairs, that like the Euro USD, the GBP USD, the NZD USD, the USD CAD, USD JPY, every dollar-related pair. With this analysis, you'll be able to focus the direction of the dollar within the week. So if it's inversely correlated, you know that you take opposite direction. And if it's directly correlated, then you take the same direction as the dollar. From the monthly time frame, I will have to clear everything because I like to take my analysis from the monthly time frame. That is the top-down analysis. On the monthly time frame, you can see that the dollar had been encapsulated in a range. If you check the previous analysis that I made, you will understand this better. So you can check my previous video to see the analysis I made on the dollar in the previous week. Then I can go to the weekly time frame to have a clearer view, the bird eye view for the dollar in this coming week. So if we move to the weekly time frame, we will see if there are opportunities that we can capitalize on within the week, in as much as the dollar is encapsulated in a range. But we can see that the dollar swept this previous low and broke this high, which is a reversal signature, causing the dollar to be bearish. Even though it is encapsulated in a range, it even broke two highs, making it to look very bullish. The dollar is bullish. The dollar is buying. So within the previous week, the dollar was reacting inside the order block on the weekly time frame, which also was in line with this imbalance. That is the buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. So the dollar reacted from there, gave a bullish signature, a bullish candle on the weekly time frame, which can serve as a confirmation in case you did not take any trade or you did not see any opportunity within the previous week. We can look out to see if there are opportunities that we can capitalize on within the current week, taking this bullish signature on the weekly time frame. Now we can go to the daily time frame to see if there are daily opportunities that can be used. And on the daily time frame, we can see that there is a new day opening gap, because there are two gaps that I like to trade, either the fair value gap or the new day opening gap. So this new day opening gap confluences with the fair value gap on the weekly time frame, which makes this a high probability fair value gap. And I'm seeing it as a draw on liquidity that might move price from its current position to a higher position. So from the 4-hour time frame, since price reacted from the weekly fair value gap, I was capitalizing on the opportunities that came up on the 4-hour to see that I take my buying trades as the dollar had been bullish through the week. So we can see that the dollar broke the 4-hour high within the previous week. It swept the 4-hour low, broke the high, which is a reversal signature. And since then, the dollar had been giving us higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and a current low, which we don't know if it will continue up or if it will continue down. Therefore, I'll be taking my trading range from this low on the 4-hour to this high. So I'll be taking the low as the protected level or my leverage, and the high as the weak level or the vulnerable side of the market. So I expect dollar to react from the 4-hour fair value gap and give me a lower time frame, maybe a 15-minute reversal signature. That is a change in character on the 15-minute time frame. Then I may have to continue to buy the dollar into the fair value gap or the daily opening gap that I showed us earlier. So within this coming week, I'm waiting for a reversal signature on a lower time frame inside this 4-hour imbalance to take my trades, my buying trades on the dollar. And with this analysis, I can comfortably go to the Euro USD or the GBP USD to take my trades. So on the Euro USD, let me go with the Euro USD and see if there are opportunities that can be capitalized on, still using the top-down analysis. So on the Euro USD, I can comfortably take my analysis from the weekly time frame. I may not have to go to the monthly time frame. So I may just delete all the markings on the charts. Let me use this Euro USD. So I will just capitalize on the directional bias and then use every opportunity, because since the dollar is buying, I expect Euro USD to be selling. So I'll be looking at selling opportunities on the Euro USD. And with the selling opportunities, I will take daily trades or intraday trades for the Euro USD. So I'm waiting for the Euro USD to come up. And since the Euro USD has come up, I can claim my charts. The Euro USD is currently on the weekly time frame. So I can clean the charts and then analyze the Euro USD using the top-down analysis. From the weekly time frame, we can see that the Euro USD swept this high and gave a very strong rejection week, broke the low. It broke this low and this low. I would have taken my analysis from the monthly time frame, but on the monthly time frame, you will still see that the Euro USD is encapsulated in a range, just like the DXY. So I may not see much opportunities using the monthly time frame. I capitalize on where I see opportunities. So on the weekly time frame, we can see a sweep to the downside. That's a sweep of the buy side liquidity down and breaking double break of structure to the downside, which makes me to see the Euro USD to be bearish. So since the Euro USD is bearish and the price has already reacted from this weekly order block, and I'm seeing a weekly bearish rejection candle. So this rejection candle may serve as a confirmation that Euro USD might continue to sell within the week. So if the Euro USD should sell within the week, this buy-side imbalance, sell-side inefficiency may stand as a threat to the selling direction. So that is why I'll be very conscious since Euro USD is encapsulated in a range. I'll be very conscious of any PD array that I see on its way. So if you look at the PD array, if you check, it is on the discount side. And most times, price buys from the discount and sell from the premium because the current position of Euro USD is on the premium. And that is why I took the opportunity to sell Euro USD within the past week. So if I go to a lower time frame from this, from the weekly time frame, I'll go to something like the 4-hour time frame. We can see the reaction of price within the weekly order block in the previous week. So we can see that price gave a reversal signature. That is a change of character here. This is a change of character. So price swept the previous 4-hour high and broke the low, giving us a reversal to the downside. And also, there were some selling opportunities that came up within the past week, which I may not really want to go into now, as I am here to focus what might likely happen within the coming week. So, Euro USD is currently, the price is currently reacting in a 4-hour imbalance, which, just as I forecasted on the DXY, I expect price to still give me a lower time frame sell side change of character. That is maybe a 15 minutes change of character. And I will continue to sell the Euro USD to the weekly imbalance. So if the markets open tonight, I expect Euro USD to give me a sell side signature on the 15-minute time frame. Then I'll take my sales from there. And whatever selling opportunity that come, I will take it down to the weekly buy side imbalance, sell side inefficiency. I think this is where we'll come to the end of our forecast for today. I wish you good day and good trading. Thank you.